literally millions of people have found this gospel to be very encouraging and consoling in difficult times. What is the wisdom here that Jesus is offering us? Certainly he is not offering us a plan for not having to work. Rather, he's offering us a plan of how to live in peace while doing difficult things. He was a man of the Spirit. And so being a man of the Spirit, he is sharing the fruit of what he has learned in the Spirit. Today we would change the word burden to stress, in that anything that somehow or another discomfits us, knocks us off center, or we forget who we are. Either we try and fly away from the difficulty we encounter, or we just want to crawl in a heap and just say, I give up. And Jesus said, wait a second, let me show you how to do it. So to summarize, when he uses the wonderful metaphor of a yoke, he's saying if you take on this inner yoke of being at peace, you'll be able to deal with whatever comes along. There's the discipline then. The inner work. How do we work to attain this peace? Eckhart Tolle, of recent fame, was a man who experienced profound conversion and wrote about it in a couple of his books. It reminds us that it's about how we look at the situation. How we look at the situation. So he goes on to say 89% of our thoughts are negative, repetitive, and useless. The way our brain works is that it's like a little kid, or like a monkey, that wants to keep going over things. That's where the stress comes from. That's what Christ is talking about in his words. Is that we stay gripped by an overwhelming burden about whatever it is we're doing. And in order for us to let go of that and to be at peace, we have to let go of our need to keep going over it again and again and again and again. You just let it go. Not just once, but over and over and over again. Let me give you an example. Like you, I too have had to deal with loss and grief and whatnot. And one of the things I've learned from the practice of grieving well is that each day you set aside time. I call it a time of being with the bucket. And so for these 10 minutes, or this half hour, I allow myself to weep, to scream, to cry, to journal. This is my time to dump. And then whenever throughout the day I'm tempted to go back, and another thing, it's already done. It's already done. It's a practice. If we don't do the practice, then this bucket dumps all this mess over all my thoughts and my feelings and my behavior. This isn't new psychology. Actually, it's a very deep monastic theology. That so many of the great monastic authors point out that the most difficult thing in the spiritual life is about having self-control over one's thoughts. And one's thoughts lead to one's feelings and therefore behavior. Oh yes, psychology has taken that and built schools around it. But to understand what Jesus is saying here, he's saying very carefully, take a look at your thoughts. Don't allow them to control you. Because if they do, you will be needlessly overburdened. And so take on the yoke, the practice of living in peace. To really face your worries, your anxieties, your self-recriminations, your feelings of inadequacy, your sense of failure, negative memories. Call it whatever you want. And practice doing what Jesus is talking about. And when you do that, then you will find that peace that passes all understanding. And joy will slowly blossom in the midst of your own heart.